Hi, my name is Riley Allen, and this is my review of Season 2, Episode 2 of The Walking Dead titled Bloodletting. So we start off maybe not that long after the last episode ended. Rick is booking it to this farmhouse with Carl in his arms. And he gets there and he meets this man named Herschel, and he says that that Carl was shot by his man, and his man, Otis, said to come here, and that Herschel's a doctor. So, Herschel starts to dig around for the bullets. We meet Patricia, Otis's wife, and his assistant. His daughter is Maggie. Then, Rick goes out and he's, he looks like... I want to commend Andrew Lincoln's acting in this episode. He looks and acted exactly like someone who just witnessed what I imagine someone who just witnessed their son getting shot would look like, I guess. Side note, though, all this happened, they, got Carl situated, they had a cup of tea, they read a good book, and here finally comes Shane and Otis. I mean, I know Otis is a big dude, but geez, Rick must have really been bucking it, or Shane must have, held Otis back to give him a stern talking to or some shit. Actually, scratch that. That is exactly the type of shit Shane would have done. Back with the, other group in the woods, they're, slowly working their way back to the, highway. And I love Daryl in this episode, because, he saw Carol, praying, and he was like, you don't need to pray. We're going to find that little girl. It says a lot about Daryl's character, he was like, you don't need to pray and hope. We're going to find that little girl. It's going to be, it's going to be a good little lesson in some shit. It'll be fine. T-Dog's getting worse with his infection, and he ended up getting a fever, and, he started spouting all this type of bullshit, these people are racist, that person's a racist, me and you, we were left here because we had weak links. No, you were left there because you're injured, and Dill was left there because they think the, RV doesn't work. So, also, I love that they were rating it, and Dale found a guitar and said, I think Glenn would like this, which implies that Glenn knows how to play a little bit of the guitar, and that he told Dale this. Which, I guess, is cemented by, in the last episode, it was Glenn who was fixing the RV, because Dale told him to. Said he's gonna learn something useful. Maggie is sent to fetch Lori while Otis and Shane gear up to get all the supplies so Carl can have a surgery. Anesthesia and all that good fun shit. Lori gets there and the bomb is dropped that Herschel is a veterinarian. Okay, thank you for that. I don't see any surgeons coming out of the bushes, so, I'm not really going to complain about this too much, but then again, it's not my son that was shot, and Lori is a worried mother, so, and Herschel played it as cool as he could, aren't you a little out of your depth? Aren't we all? Yeah, alright, fair enough. He's got Carl this far, so, as I said, there's no surgeons coming out the bushes, so might as well. We see Shane and Otis kind of get overrun and ran out. Which I feel like maybe they could have had a better plan. I don't know what that plan is with the time crunch they had, but maybe like I feel like maybe one of them, I feel like Shane could have maybe like, there was a cop car and they got the light sprinklers or whatever from it, and he threw them to create a distraction. Could he have not used the wee woos on the cop car to make a distraction? Anything else? I mean, I feel like, well, yes, they benefited from having four hands. Otis could have easily got it all and then met up with Shane. Or maybe I'm just, being stupid. I don't know. Maybe it's hindsight. Andrea nearly gets killed by a walker. It's a close call, and honest to God, Andrea's actress screams. I can't really say much about her acting in general, but her screams, dear Lord, you'd think this woman was getting murdered on set. I think her name's Lori something. So they meet back up at the highway. They tell two at the highway what Aggie told him when going to get Lori, that they need to go this way to get to the green farm. And Daryl and Dale, and I think Andrea elect to stay with Carol at the highway, while Glenn and T-Dog go to the green farm. Side note, I love that Daryl's like, man, he's got an infection, why didn't y'all tell me this? He goes to the bag on his motorcycle and whips out a bunch of pills and shit. And I'm just like, so you had all the good shit, and you didn't elect to tell the group that, yeah, hey, I got the good shit. Side note, he did hand it when it was needed, but I feel like, maybe he could have piped up a bit earlier and said, hey, I got all these drugs, just in case. But, oh well. He said it when it mattered. And I think this is like the third time or some shit he saved T-Dog's life. And that's something that was brought up by Dale when, T-Dog was having his feverish, they're all racist spiel. He pointed out that Shane and Rick have done right by them so far, and that Daryl saved his life. I'm gonna be honest, I did love the conversation between Dale and T-Dog, but it kind of reeked of, oh shit, we gotta give these characters to do something this episode. My favorite part of the episode was just Rick in general, like Rick's acting, I guess. Andrew Lincoln's acting this episode. My least favorite part of this episode would be, I don't exactly have a least favorite, per se. It's not because this episode was so great, it's just that it was an average episode of The Walk. It was kind of like an average, great, decent episode. Like, there wasn't so much bad. There wasn't any really bad scenes to me, just decent scenes. So I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10. We did get a little furthering about Dale and Andrea. Dale was informed about Andrea's close call, and he, is very worried about her. So I do still hope we get more conversation between those two. Another thing I loved, when Rick was walking out the house, covered in Carl's blood, you know, Shane acted exactly like the best friend. Like, in this moment, the jealousy of Lori, Carl was forgotten, and Shane was just the best friend. I truly believe that. Like, I truly believe, like, in that genuine moment, as he was wiping Carl's blood from Rick's face, he genuinely forgot about Lori and Carl. Or, well, not Carl, but, you know, Lori and Carl, in the sense that he wanted them to be his. Thanks for watching the video. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if you want, and I'll see you in the next video.